Hello, dear students. Hope you all are fit and fine and studying at home properly. This is the fourth lecture for class 8 of Geography, chapter 2, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife. In the previous videos, we have discussed about the meaning of land, soil, and water. I hope you understood the importance of natural resources. We have discussed the ways through which we can conserve these resources. We learned about their uses also, and I hope you will try to conserve these resources in your daily routine life. Now today in this lecture we will discuss about the meaning of natural vegetation and wildlife. We will discuss the uses of natural vegetation and wildlife. Then we will discuss the ways through which we can conserve these resources. Let's first discuss the meaning of natural vegetation and wildlife. The term natural vegetation refers to plants that have not been grown by humans. They grow on their own without any human help. Wildlife refers to animals and other living things that live in natural surroundings. As you can see in these pictures, both vegetation and wildlife are very important natural resources. They exist in the biosphere. Both wildlife and natural vegetation are interrelated. They have a symbiotic relationship. It means they share a relationship which is beneficial to both. The plants use carbon dioxide given out by animals or human beings during respiration and manufacture food and oxygen. The animals or living being, humans, use the food manufactured by plants and the oxygen to breathe, as you can see in these pictures. Now let's discuss some more uses of plants. Plants provide us with timber, give shelter to animals, produce oxygen which we breathe, protect soil so essential for growing crops, act as shelter belts, help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex, gum, medicinal plants, and also provide us the paper which is very essential or important for our studies. Now we will talk about the wildlife. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. Aquatic life form means animals which live in water. They provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool. Insects like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem, because mostly the birds feed on insects and they act as decomposers as well. Vulture is a bird, and due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, it is known as a scavenger and considered as a vital cleanser of the environment. So, animals, whether they are big or small, they all are integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Now, I hope you understand from here about the uses of plants and wild animals. All these are very important to us. Now, we will discuss about the distribution of natural vegetation. It has been divided into four types or four parts. First is forest, And you can see here the picture of grassland and forest. First we will discuss forest. Forests are areas with trees grouped in a way so that their leaves shade the ground. Different types of forest can be found all over the world. Climate, sunlight, rainfall, soil, and elevation determine the type of forest. Forests are almost always made of two types of trees, deciduous and evergreen. Deciduous trees are trees that lose their leaves in the winter, like oak trees. Evergreen trees are the trees that keep their leaves all year round, like pine trees. Now we will discuss about the grasslands. Grasslands are wide stretches of land where grasses are the dominant type of vegetation. Grasslands are suitable for rearing livestock and are important for production of milk and dairy products. As you can see here, grasslands, they are not tall like as a trees, but they are short from the trees. Now we will talk about the deserts. Deserts are regions with very less precipitation, means rainfall is very less here. They are of two types, hot desert and cold desert. Hot deserts are characterized by hot and dry climate. They receive less than 2 centimeter rainfall in a year. And the cold desert climate is very cold and dry. The harsh climatic conditions do not support the growth of vegetation. Now we will talk about the tundras. Tundras are among Earth's coldest, driest, and harshest habitats. Tundra lands are snow covered for much of the year. There is very little rainfall in the tundra. Winters here are long and summers are short. Now I hope you understand from here about the distribution of natural vegetation. And about the natural vegetation we have already discussed in our class 6th and class 7th. Now our next topic is conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife, which is very important. We will discuss here the ways through which we can conserve the natural vegetation and wildlife. As we know that forests are our wealth, forests are the natural habitat of plants and wildlife. Humans are dependent on forests for their foods, medicines, fuel, clothing, and shelter. Many people are dependent on the forest for their livelihood. Deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, and landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of these resources. Now we will discuss the ways through which we can conserve the natural vegetation. Forests must be protected from wildfires, pests, and diseases. Regular inspection can ensure a healthy forest. Forests can be conserved as national parks. National park. Now, what is the meaning of national park? It is a natural area designated to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystems for the present and the future generations. Spread awareness about deforestation and its consequences. The cutting of trees in the forest must be stopped at all costs. Cutting of timber and other forest produce should be restricted. Grassland should be regenerated. Afforestation or special programs like Van Mahotsav should be launched on grand scale. Celebrations of any functions or festivals should proceed with tree plantation. We can follow these conservation methods in our daily routine life, then we are able to conserve the natural vegetation. If we are able to conserve the natural vegetation, then we are able to conserve the wildlife, because most of the wild animals live in the forest. Now, if you will look around yourself, your surrounding areas, then you will observe that some of the species of wild animals are extinct. Now, what is the meaning of extinct? Extinct means when the last of the species dies due to environmental change caused by climate change or natural disaster. You can see here in these pictures how the forest has been cut. If the forest or trees were not there, then how the wild animals can live? Human interference has resulted in tremendous amount of damage to wildlife all around the world. Many species have become extinct in the last few hundred years due to human activities such as poaching, hunting. Animals and birds are hunted for meat, skin, ivory, and horns. Wildlife conservation means taking care of the natural environment so that wildlife will have a habitat. It means raising awareness and taking action. Governments have helped in protecting animals with laws making it illegal to kill or harm endangered species. People who hurt or kill these protected animals can be sent to jail for a long time or have to pay heavy fines. Wildlife can also be conserved by protecting the wildlife habitats. Many countries have national parks where activities like hunting, farming, and fishing are illegal. Zoos, where we are going to see the animal, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, they can take the responsibility to take care of the endangered species and help them to grow their population while in captivity. An important part of protecting animals involves keeping track of animal populations. This helps scientists to know if the population is growing or shrinking. National Wildlife Action Plan has been adopted in 1983 for wildlife conservation. Many sanctuaries and national parks have been established for the protection of dwindling wildlife. Now, what is the meaning of wildlife sanctuaries? These are the places where the killing and capturing of any animal is prohibited except under order of the authorities concerned. National parks are set up for preserving flora, fauna, landscapes, and historic objects of an area. Do you know that at present there are around 398 sanctuaries and 69 national parks in India? Conservation of plants and animals is an ethical duty of every citizen. Now, I hope from the above discussion you are able to understand about the meaning of natural vegetation and wildlife, its uses, and how to conserve their resources. And I hope now you are able to understand about the meaning of land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife. And all of you will try to save these natural resources, because life on the planet Earth depends on the availability and condition of our natural resources. The continued exploitation of natural resources has led to a major imbalance in nature. So try to save all these natural resources. Read the chapter twice from your book and underline all the important points. The question answer link has been given in the comment box. After reading the chapter thoroughly, please note down all these question answers in your notebook. Read the chapter twice or thrice properly and understand the concept. Stay home, stay safe, stay positive. Thank you.